Hi, my name's Judy.
And I'm Cecy.
And together we are
Two Girls on a Mic. Do elevator music. Welcome back to another episode of Two Girls on a Mic. No more ghouls for the season. I know.
Can't wait until we're back next year.
I know. Spooky season. We miss ya. This podcast, we talk about really anything that comes to mind. Today we're talking about proposals because
somebody got proposed to about time.
About time. We've talked about other things like spooky things, but today we're just gonna focus on proposals today.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, how has our weeks been?
What have I done? we were doing a lot of spooky things. We did a carving pumpkins yesterday. We got some cute photos that should be up by now.
Yeah.
I've been stressful at work because we've been hiring a lot of people, but it's finally slowing down. And now I can finally hire somebody to help us organize. And
fingers crossed
that she gets the job. So
if not, then we're just gonna send Fabi back. We have Fabi back. Eventually we'll have like a little mic and a separate camera pointed at Fabi just so we can see her reactions and her comments. Once we get the budget,
So start sharing.
Yeah, today we're gonna be going to like a pop-up event.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the spooky pop-up.
Yeah, it's in Anaheim. It's the Garden Walk. We can say that because we're not there anymore. But apparently it was going on all month of October,
Friday and Sunday through Sunday.
Yeah. And we've been talking about going to it. We're finally doing it.
Yes.
And spend some money.
My wallet's gonna hurt. More so my phone because it's Apple Pay.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we're gonna go to a City Vibes coffee.
Wait, I thought we were doing that today.
It's in North Hollywood.
Oh, never mind.
Unless we find one that's
if we find one in
then we'll go to
we're trying to figure out so that way Sunday then because I know you have to go to your to your parents.
But if not, we could always just
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I just wiped my eye. But yeah, so either way we're gonna be going to a coffee shop. And yeah, that's basically been it. Can't really think of much else that I've done this week. It's been a busy weekend for sure.
Yeah.
For Thankful Thursday, I'm thankful Matt proposed.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I mean, I am. Don't want to sound cocky about it. But, it just felt like the right time.
Right. I am thankful for two things. One, that Matt proposed to Cecilia. Two, that we've done a lot of spooky things this time around.
Yeah.
So
I think we did everything on the bucket list.
Today, because tomorrow we have to do the baskets.
Yeah.
But we might be able to squeeze it in today if we wanted to.
But
we'll see.
I haven't done any of this.
I haven't done shopping yet.
Okay.
Squeeze it in.
We'll take a Target trip.
Everything's good.
Fabi, go buy stuff.
Send your list. But I think with that everything will be done. So
wow, look at us.
A step up from our summer one. But yeah, as we said, today's topic is going to be proposals. There's quite a few things that you could have a hot take with when it comes to proposals.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the biggest one is it okay to propose at someone's wedding? And Matt and I had this conversation with Judy and Fabi like 10 minutes ago. So I think depending on who the person is and if you ask beforehand, then
it can be okay.
Yeah, it'd be okay for some people. Not everybody, because some people don't want their day to be like overshadowed by something else, which is fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. But I was telling Matt that, like, say if Denise or Fabi, two of my close friends, if
Mhm.
they were to have their significant other come up, well, not they, but if their significant
Mhm.
other came up to me and Matt were like, hey, like, feel like this is the perfect time, I would be okay with it. Matt, on the other hand, he said no.
He said it would have to be like a really, really like
He
would,
the number one guy.
Yeah.
For sure, he had to know that he was the one. That Matt had to know he was the one, not even Abby or Denise. Because he kind of feels that way too. Like, it's his day, which again, that's not like,
it's not
it's not
bad.
bad.
It's just, it really just depends on the person, because some people really, this is their moment. Obviously, they spent a good amount of money on this.
Yeah.
So it's okay not to want to share that moment.
Yeah.
But you also have people who are okay with that. They're okay with, obviously somebody who's really special to them.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be like, hey,
Yeah, if it was like my freaking third, fourth cousin, I'd be like, I don't know you. But also, I was telling you that I don't remember if I read it somewhere or if I saw a TikTok about it, that there was a couple who got engaged at somebody's wedding, didn't ask for permission. The couple didn't even know what was going on because it was like kind of out of the way. But they went to the photographer that the couple hired for the wedding and had them take pictures of them to use as their engagement pictures that they weren't paying for.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think it's okay to use somebody else's photographer? Like, it would have been different if they said, hey, can we pay you to have our engagement photos? And then they would have paid for those photos and stuff like that. But if you're gonna
just go and not even ask the bride or groom about it,
that's a little shady. Like, why would they invite you?
Who are you? But yeah, it goes either way. If you're okay with it, nice. If you're
great,
not okay with it, nice.
Yeah. The next hot take would be: is it okay for the other person to propose? For example, like Matt, like if you would have proposed to Matt, like if the girl proposes to the man,
to the guy, yeah, I would have been fine doing it. I told him if he would have taken too long, I would have done it. But I know he's always made it very clear that he wanted to be the one to propose. So I never like thought of like planning it or anything. But I'm sure that if he like wouldn't have minded, I probably would have started planning something. And it kind of would have just come up to who did it first.
Right. And I asked him like how he would have felt. And I gave him the scenario. It's like, what if it's like 5-6 years in and you still hadn't proposed? So he was like, well, at that point, he couldn't really blame you for proposing to him because it's 5-6 years in.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm okay. I don't think anything's wrong with if a woman proposes. I know a lot of people online are like, that's a man's thing to do. Like, okay, that's why you're not getting proposed to.
But I think some men really feel like they get, what's the word? Like, yeah, they have the machismo thinking like, oh, like I should be the one doing. I'm the man. I should be the one proposing.
Like, well, then get to it. But yeah, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. And also, we're talking about like, well, how does that work with same-sex couples?
Yeah, like who proposes to who?
Yeah, because I know that like the very stereotypical one is that there's a masculine and a feminine one, which is not always the case. Right. I've seen like 2 masculine guys together, and it's like, okay, what, like who does propose?
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like that's just,
you would have to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes somebody doesn't want to do the proposal and they want to get proposed to, or reverse. So you have to have the conversation like once you guys are in a more serious, aspect of your relationship, like, hey, I would expect to get proposed to, or hey, I want to do the proposing.
Yeah.
Or are you both okay? Whoever pops the question first. Because I've seen on TikTok where and it was a Disneyland proposal.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
And they both proposed.
They both have the rings on
which
them,
is cute, So just really having that conversation with your significant other and say, okay, what role do you like when it comes to proposals?
Yeah. Because I follow people on TikTok who are, who is it? Do you guys know Spencer? He has like blonde curly hair. He's known for his daily screams. No? Okay. Well, he was talking about like when he's like, because we all know that I'm going to be the one wearing the dress. And it's like, some people are very open about that. Others not so much.
Right.
So it's just like, as long as you communicate with your partner, you don't have to let the whole world know if you don't feel comfortable with that. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit different than like us because it's kind of expected that the guy
Right.
does it.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be like that. But other one is Disney proposals, yay or nay.
Are they overrated?
I love Disney. I feel like you guys know that. But I do think that Disneyland proposals are like, it's been done way too many times. Like, I feel like it's to the point where it's not really that special, but that's just for me.
Is it because everybody does it in front of the castle?
Yeah.
What if it was like at Disney, but it was like completely,
Like
they organize it and like they got Disneyland to, help out and stuff like that. Because it's still a Disneyland proposal, but it's not like the traditional overrated in front of a castle.
I feel like if Disneyland plays that big of a part in your relationship, then sure. Because Matt and I, we started going to Disney before we started dating, and then we kept going as we went. So for us, it's like a pretty, it's like a cute part of our relationship. It's like Disneyland. But I feel like that's not enough for us to like go that far to the extent of him having the park help him out. But if, I don't know, like you fell in love on a ride, then maybe.
But if you had your first kiss at Disneyland with your significant other,
I guess. I'm just not a fan of him. I just think it's like you see that every other day. I feel like
that's true.
Yeah, but if you like
to each their own, to each their own.
This is just personal. Speaking of,
I would like to know how did it like tell us?
What happened? Okay, so you guys know I went to Salem not too long ago, and I had an inkling that Matt was going to propose, but I thought he was going to do it on Sunday because we were there we got there Thursday night and we left Sunday morning. I thought he was going to do it on Sunday because he asked me, he's like, remind me to ask you something on Sunday. And I was like, well, what do you want to ask me? So that I can remember. He's like, no, just tell me that I need to ask you something Sunday. So I was like, that's a little suspicious. I was like, okay. By the way, apparently that had nothing to do with the proposal.
He forgot.
And he forgot what he was going to ask me. So on Thursday we got there, we had dinner, we went to sleep because we were tired. And then Friday is when we went to Salem. I didn't have an idea that he was nervous or that he was going to propose that day because he played it off pretty well.
Right.
And like the whole day, I planned out most of our day. And so he did tell me that he wanted to use, so I got him a love book for his birthday back in 2019. And what it is you just go online and like customize your little characters to look like you and your significant other or like whoever you're doing the book for.
Right.
And you could like edit the book to say certain things. So mine was like all the things I love about you. And it's like each page is a picture of us, our little cartoon versions of us. And like, I love that you do this or I love this about you. And then at the end, it gives you the option of giving like coupons. So I put one there for like good for one date night and it expires never. Good thing I put that because it would have expired. And so he's like, I'm going to use this for when we go to Salem. I was like, okay, that's fine. And so that's why I was thinking like I'm treating him this day because he used his date night thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, and I planned it. So I was like, it makes sense. And so we kind of go throughout our day. And then he's like, we were on one side of the street. He's like, I want to go back to the Rope's Mansion, which is the Allison house from Hocus Pocus. He's like, I want to go back there to do a boomerang. And I was like, really? In my head, I was like, we just came from over there. I was like, okay, let's go. Because I wanted to go to this shop. He's like, no, can we just go to the mansion? And I was like, okay, that's fine. We go. And he told me, he's like, either the mansion or I was thinking about the witch house, but it's too busy. I was like, okay. But when you're walking over there from the direction we were, the witch house is right next to the mansion. So when we were passing by, there wasn't that many people. So I was like, oh, we could just do it at the witch house because there's nobody here. And he's like, no, I want to do the mansion. I was like, okay.
But that didn't trigger any suspicion.
No, I think I was also like watching the time because this was around like 5:30, 5:40. And we had something at 6.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just go do it.
Like, come on. Time is ticking.
And so we get to the mansion. There's like a small line. And he asked the girls behind us, he's like, hey, can you take a video of us? And I was like, why a video? And I know he said he wanted to do a boomerang. he's like, oh, because some people don't know how to like take boomerangs, so I'm just gonna like cut out the part that I want. And I was like, okay, it kind of just went over my head. Like, okay.
He's like, hey, come on, hurry up.
So we give the girls the phone. He puts his bag down, which I thought was a little weird because he didn't take his bag off for any of the other pictures.
Oh.
And I was like, whatever. And then he stood there and he was like refusing. I was trying to stand on the left side. And he's like, scoot to the side. I'm like, no. I kept telling him no. I was like, this is my good side. Go to the other side. And so he finally moved. And I was like fixing my hair. And I was looking off to the side. And I was like, what do you want to do for the video? And then I turned around. And he's like, well, you know how you say we always want to get married? And I don't know why. My brain was just like all scrambled. And I said, don't. I said, don't. But I was like kind of smiling. And he got down on the knee. He's like, oh, will you marry me? And I think like while he was saying that, I was like, you're lying. I think I said that at one point. And then I obviously said yes.
Aww. So cute.
And yeah, after that, I called my mom. She was,
there was a photographer there.
Oh yeah, there was a photographer there who
just happened to be in line.
He just happened to be in line and he started taking pictures once he realized what was going on. And it was cute because there was a bunch of girls in line. They're like, oh. And then one of the girls was like, take all the time you guys need. Because there was a pretty big line at that point.
Aww.
I was like, no. I was crying. I
Aww.
was like, no, it's okay. And then, yeah, we went to like the side by a church and we were like calling my mom. She's like, I can't see you. And I was like, okay. But yeah, that's how it went. And then like, we had a tour planned for after, and it was like the one I was the most excited for, but I wasn't even paying attention.
You're just like,
I was just so like, I was like thinking about everything. I was like, oh, what's going on now? What's the next thing? And I was like, oh, I wasn't paying attention, but it was fun.
Aw. So cute.
Yeah. And then we got a drink that was very strong. We were walking to the car, and I was out of it. But yeah, it was fun. It was cute. There was people there. You guys, there will be a bonus episode coming up this sometime in the next week before the next one, explaining Matt's other original proposal idea. And the only thing I'll tell you about that is it involved a lot of people being there. And I told him that I didn't want that because I get anxious in front of people. And so we had people there, but it was like
random people,
and it wasn't too many when it happened. So it's like, okay, I could deal with that. And at the moment, I really didn't feel like anybody else was there either. So, yeah. So that's what happened.
Now let the planning begin. I wonder who her bridesmaids are going to be.
Don't know. No idea.
But whoever it is, I'm very happy that they will be part of your wedding.
Yeah. I'm trying to plan something cute. I'm not going to say what it is, but
No, say it.
No. No, just don't get your hopes up. Because we never know who I'm going to ask, you know?
Yeah, she has so many friends we don't know.
I have so many. But yeah, since that was like a cute little, it went right for the most part. We're going to go into some that went wrong.
Yeah.
So I found this website called theknot.com. And these aren't like crazy that they went wrong. It's kind of like inconveniences that are like kind of funny to laugh at now. So I'm gonna read. There was a really short one that's kind of fun. Okay. This one says, my husband accidentally said, will you be my husband? When he proposed to his girlfriend. Oh my God. I think that's funny though.
It is funny because you're like super nervous. There's like so much pressure that you're like, oh my God, what do I say?
Yeah, that's true. And I think because Matt's very confident, he doesn't get nervous that much. So I was like, I wonder if he was an anxious person, how that would have gone down.
And I think that's why Derek didn't really do an elaborate proposal because he's such an overthinker and has like so much anxiety. Like what if it goes wrong? So hence why I'm still waiting for a proposal.
Do you want to share your proposal?
It's very short. So first of all, I don't even know why he asked me to propose. Asked me to marry him at that time because we had literally just gotten into an argument. Okay,
you gotta test the relationship.
We had just gotten into an argument. I don't even know what it was about, and he dropped me off at home, and I was closing the door. He's like, "Wait," I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Would you marry me?" I'm like, "Seriously?" You did this right now. But I was like, yes. And he gave me the ring and all that stuff. And I was like, really? This is how you do it? But he was like, he had been trying to plan something, but he was just too anxious and too like, he overthought everything. He's like, what if it goes wrong? Or what if this happens? Like, you literally didn't have to. I wasn't expecting like a super elaborate thing, like such something sweet. Like I even told him, you could have gone to the place where we first had our kiss, and it was at a park. We could have sat down and you could have asked me, and that would have been like super romantic and special because it's something that we, shared as a first time girlfriend boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm like, well,
he's like, let me just take that back.
But it is what it is. I mean,
I feel like it's cute though that you guys like that's the proposal, and then that's how you know that
and it just shows our relationship that we don't need anything special.
Yeah.
To like have a really good marriage because that was back in 2014, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
No, 2013, 2012, 2013, because he had just came back from the on leave for the military. More. Oh no, yeah, about 10 years. Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, about so.
Also, before I forget, but yeah, that is cute. It's a funny story.
It's a funny, it's one of those oh, it's funny, but you guys are still together. You know.
Yeah, and then we also have Lewis wrote it. I'm going to say his name because I don't see why he would want his name blurred. But he said that, and I know he actually asked Matt and I to record it for him, but we were out of town that day when he proposed. But he put that she thought she was getting ready for a dinner date, and he proposed in front of both their families. She said yes, they're married now. They're having a baby soon.
But I remember that video. It was so cute. He decorated the backyard. It was super cute.
Yeah, I remember. I was being so nosy that day.
Same.
When he came to tell Matt and ask him about it, that's when we were still sleeping in the room in the garage, and they were talking in the garage, and I was literally up against the wall, wow. But yeah, it was super cute. There's a lot of cute ways to do it. It just depends on what you think you and your partner would like.
Right. Because there's some really nice strapping ways of doing it, but it may not be right for your relationship. Yeah. Sometimes some people really want simple, super simple. Others want, elaborate, creative, over the top proposals, which is fine. It's just your preference.
Yeah. I'm gonna say we'll blur out her name. She was very drunk that day. And we all were. And they we went to a karaoke bar that she really liked. She recommended it, so we went there. And they signed her and all her sisters up to go up and sing a song for karaoke.
Okay.
And it was taking so long for them to get their names called because there was a long line of people. And there was a bunch of other stuff going on. At one point, she wanted to leave. And nobody really, the sisters knew that he was going to propose. And I wanted to leave too. So she was coming and she's like, let's go. And I was like, okay. And I was getting ready. And he came up to me. He's like, no, you have to stay. And I was like, why? And he's like, because I'm going to propose. And I was like, oh
my God.
I was like, okay. So I put my stuff back. I was like, okay, well, we got to stay until this happens. So finally, after seemed forever, they got called up there. She went up, I don't even remember what song they sang. I have a video of it, but she doesn't let me post it. And so they finished their thing. He goes up there and they kind of disperse, and she's the only one standing up there, and the guy walks up, he proposes, and she's she had no idea that he was gonna do it. And then we went to Denny's after. But yeah, I remember her saying, she's like, yeah, I had no idea it was gonna happen at a bar, but it's another one of those, it's cute, it's fitting for them too, because they like going out and doing that.
Oh, okay.
It's just so crazy how he just had the ring. Sorry. You should have asked Matt that. How uncomfortable is this to have a box?
I know.
I didn't know that he had it in his pocket.
But I feel like guys' jeans have bigger pockets than our jeans.
Because ours, you would be able to see a lump.
And they have really big pockets. So
yeah, especially if they wear cargo pants or shorts.
So I found this really funny story. on Reddit. So it's not my story, but one time a gyno was giving his girlfriend a 1-year exam and he decided to propose by pretending to pull the ring out of her.
Fabby's face, her jaw dropped.
Imagine your fiance or boyfriend is a gyno. He's giving you your pap smear, you know? And then he just, you know, pulls out a box out of down there. Like,
it's like, what are you carrying in there? How spacious is it in there?
I mean, I think it's fitting if that's the kind of couple you are, where you're jokesters and, you know, you like that kind of thing, great. But for me, I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah. Interesting way of proposing to me. But
definitely memorable. All right, there's this other one where I feel like it's kind of relatable. It's called, I didn't understand that my fiance was proposing. So halfway through his romantic speech, I interrupted him and asked him to scratch my back. When he finally got on one knee, my first emotion was mortification that I had asked him in the middle of his speech. I feel like that's cute though. Like, I always do that to Matt whenever he's talking. I interrupt him a lot. And it's not like I mean to. It's just like second nature at this point. But I'm glad I didn't do it. I just said don't.
I just saw a TikTok. Ever since you got proposed to, my TikTok has now like proposed my timeline. But there's this one where they're at a pumpkin patch and the husband gets on one knee and the girl is like her back is turned, grabbing some pumpkins.
The boobies.
And then she like poses for the picture. She doesn't even realize her boyfriend is on his knee. Then he puts it back. She puts him back and then turns around and then he's still there.
But he's so patient too.
I know.
He's just like, yep.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
If I find it, I'll put it
up. There's this other one where I was like, I was kind of nervous about this too, just because I don't know, when there's stuff and travel wise, things always go wrong, which is normal, but it's like kind of just getting back on track. So this girl said, I almost missed my proposal twice because she had to cancel plans because she was busy with other things. And I was like, what if we had to do that? Like, what if we had to cancel something because of the trip or whatever? But it worked out.
It's another video I saw on TikTok.
This is the last one.
They were at a dock by the beach or something, and the boyfriend wanted to get the daughter involved, so she was carrying the ring, not even in the box.
I saw that.
And then it falls between the crack and it goes down. Luckily, they did find it eventually, but I'm like, oh my God, my heart.
Yeah, I have a heart attack. I'd be so mad. But yeah, that's all the time that we have for this episode. Again, I'm going to try to do this real quick. If you want to follow along with us on Instagram and everything, really, it's at 2 Girls on a Mic. Our personal Instagrams are down below. We hope you guys enjoyed this proposal episode. It was really fun, obviously. But with that being said, we'll see you on the next, or you'll see us on the next one.
Bye.